But one farmer says, seems to me there was a tea party in Boston that was illegal too.
I have directed Secretary Connally to suspend temporarily the convertibility of the dollar into gold.
We shall seek to establish and maintain a dollar which will not change its purchasing and debt-paying power during the succeeding generation.
As anguished shrieks rose up from the floor of the New York Stock Exchange.
Government credit and government currency are really one and the same thing. A reserve of gold and a small reserve of silver.
So, and I said, well, what if it does happen? And he says, well, price will solve everything. I said, thanks, give me the gold.
Why do central banks hold it? Well, it's a form of reserves. So why don't they hold diamonds? Well, it's tradition, long-term tradition.
Well, some people still think it's money.
Good evening. Welcome back to the Junius Maltby channel. You know, every once in a while, it's a good idea to be reminded of why we stack and place value upon precious metals. We take a walk through the damage caused by hyperinflation and the way states tend to manipulate currencies and destroy them over time. We've seen it play out throughout history. We've covered it on this channel for years. We've named the many examples time and time again. But again, every once in a while, we need to remind ourselves. So we're going to take a walk through some images. Some of these are famous photographs of the debacle that unfolded in Venezuela during their hyperinflation crisis, which they still have not recovered from. Now, this is a nation that exercised socialism, communism, if you will. Of course, according to some, they just didn't do it right there. It just wasn't done right that time. However, they destroyed their currency. They printed too much. They made entirely too many paper bills. And it was a tsunami of cash upon that land. And the reason I'm bringing this up now is we just saw the headlines the other day. 21% of all of the dollars printed were printed in the last year. Over 1 in 5 of each dollar you see in the United States was printed, most of them in about the second quarter of the year 2020. Of course, it hasn't happened here yet. They've got their fingers in the dike. They're holding it back. Now, what better slide to open up with the effects of hyperinflation than showing toilet paper next to the stack of bills that would be required to purchase such? Now, my immediate thought is, why would you purchase toilet paper with a giant stack of bills like that comprise more paper than the toilet paper itself, when you could just take those stacks of bills into the bathroom and use them? You know, you might want to go to the bank and get clean bills, go in there and just tell them you'd like to exchange your $150 billion for some fresh, new printed $150 trillion maybe, if they've revalued the currency that day. And then you can take them home and stock up your bathroom with stacks of bills next to the latrine, or the head, or the toilet, whatever you call it. And then when you do your business, you can just use those and clog up the sewage system with billions upon billions upon billions of dollars. So let's go through and look at the changes in prices, the devastation of empty supermarkets as the citizens rushed out to acquire food before the prices went up, before the prices on goods changed, and they had to be rid of the ever devaluing and debased, rotting currencies. Now, this is a window into what it looks like for those that are suffering under hyperinflation. Now, I know because it's never happened here, it can't and never will. I myself am a firm believer in the normalcy bias. We all succumb to it. This is impossible. You'll never see this occur here in the United States. We're immune to it. We have economic immunity. We have American privilege. The same rules of economics do not apply to us. They just don't. We can do whatever we want. You'll never see prices for milk go to $1,487.46 for a gallon, or $1,144.20 for a dozen eggs. No, gas will never be $1,373. No, it's impossible. It just couldn't happen. A pair of shoes at $34,000? Nah, ridiculous. These are impossible numbers put together by crazy people. Why would an iPhone 8 ever cost $274,000? It's not going to happen. Or a steak, $19,680? I mean, who would pay $5,492 for a movie ticket or $68,000 for a night in a hotel? It doesn't make any sense. And gold, I mean, come on now. Why would gold ever reach $988,588.80 an ounce? No one would ever pay that. Of course, it's impossible. Hyperinflation itself is impossible. I don't even think it exists. I don't believe in it. Therefore, if I don't believe in it, well, it just can't happen. You see, the socialists in charge, those who subscribe to modern monetary theory, those in Congress that are the experts, the economists that we educate in our universities, that preach how good it is that we are increasing inflation and how negative interest rates must be something that we adopt. They have our best interests at heart. They want what's best for all of us. It's greedy to want to earn interest on your money in the bank or to maintain purchasing power. It's greed and evil to want to hide your wealth from the overreaching arm of the state, to prevent them from taxing you through inflation. That's wrong. How could you ever even believe that you should be able to do that? You're just harming society. You're harming your neighbors. Let them inflate your currency. It's for the greater good. Wear your mask to protect others, to protect yourself. Do as they say. Listen to these people. These are people that eat at fancy restaurants, like the French Laundry. If these rules don't apply to them, you need to just listen and obey and be a good peasant. Do not worry about what may come tomorrow. They'll take care of you. They are our overlords. These statist tyrants, they were put there in charge to govern, to lead. Let them do what they need to do and make those tough decisions. Let them print off as much money as is necessary. Let them give money to the financial institutions, to Wall Street, to their cronies, to the defense contractors, the banks, the pharmaceutical companies. Let stimulus bill after stimulus bill after stimulus bill pass through the houses and the Senate and be signed by the president. It doesn't matter where they're getting the money from. You shouldn't even be asking those questions. Just let it happen. It's necessary. We can pay back what we owe at a later time. The debt, it's just a number. Pay no attention to it. We can pay that back. Let them print their way out of this. It's imperative that they do. They can, and they will, print their way out of this. So just let them do it. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. There's no reason to. Again, it's your own greed that makes you wish to prevent this necessity from becoming a reality. So as you go forward and prepare for the years ahead, when more and more money is printed and sent out into circulation by the governments that we live under, I would urge you to do the right thing. To not stack metals. To forego purchasing silver or gold or cryptocurrencies. Don't even hoard your cash. Just leave it in the banks. Live day to day, month to month. And just trust that ultimately those in the halls of government will do the right thing, because they always have. They always will. Every government has always done the best that they possibly can for their people. They've always had their interests at heart. And no government would ever purposely destroy its currency in these ways. So just look at these images and remind yourself, they're doing it for you. They're doing the right thing for everyone. Now be a good citizen and just toe the line and vote down the party line.